In County Kerry, you can do as the Romans didn't do and see the best of the Emerald Isle on 2 wheels.
Today our cycle is going to bring us in and around the Killarney Lake here, Loch Lane, which is the Lake of Learning.
Our guide is Michael O'Shea, who runs Hidden Island tours.
From there then we're going to cycle further on back through Sneem, Caherdaniel, and eventually end up in Waterville tonight, where hopefully we'll have a bit of music and a bit of crack.
What's a bit of crack?
A bit of crack is fun. Dancing, music, singing.
The trip that we're doing is around the Ring of Kerry, which covers most of the Ivra Peninsula in the southwest of Ireland. In a country of incredible beauty, it stands out as one of the most scenic areas. Even the busiest roads are a delight. The first part of the trip is through the Killarney National Park, which covers 10,000 hectares and surrounds 3 huge lakes which make up the famous lakes of Killarney. They were formed during the Ice Age and sit at the foot of the McGillicuddy Reeks, the highest mountain range in Ireland. And while they might not be as old, the man-made relics are still pretty impressive.
This is the actual plan here of the abbey we're in now, Muckross Abbey. It was built in 1450 for the Franciscan monks. Straight ahead of us is the choir section, and this is the area where all the local chieftains from the 17th and 18th century would have been buried.
The abbey was founded in 1448, and even though it burnt down a few centuries later, much of it has survived.
Okay, this is the yew tree. This is unique to Killarney. It's estimated over 300 years old, which would have been planted just around the time that the abbey here was closed down.
The ride takes 2 days, and on each day you cover about 80 kilometres. It sounds like a lot, but much of it is on flat roads. There are some hills, but they tend to be long, slow rises rather than steep climbs. And anyway, what goes up must go down on the other side. As we reached the end of day 1, we reached the coast. I'd also reached my limit, so it was time to sample some of this famous Irish crack I'd been told about. It's 1 part music and 1 part people, but the other 10 parts are made up of something that's black, comes in pint glasses, and goes by the name of Guinness. And what's a trip to Ireland without a drop of the national drink? Cheers!
Good morning, everyone. I hope you had a good night last night, especially with the people that overindulged last night.
And so, nursing our hangovers, we set off on what Michael had promised us were quiet country roads.
In the summertime, we have a set program of cycling and walking tours, which cover the Kerry area, but also cover all of the west coast of Ireland.
And you can stay in either very expensive hotels or bed and breakfast, depending on how much money you've got to spend.
Yeah, the tour can be set up to suit people's pockets, and then it can be hostel-based, it can be bed and breakfast-based, or hotels.
And as for Michael's philosophy?
We try to make people feel like they're Irish for the week that they're here, and they can have good fun and enjoy it.
Lots of crack.
Lots of crack.
The biggest problem with a trip like this is the weather, but Michael always has a van in tow, in which case it's off the bikes and on with the sightseeing. And in Ireland, there's plenty to sightsee, both in the towns and the country. This would have to be one of the best holidays anyone could have. In 2 days, we've covered 160 kilometres and seen some of the most spectacular scenery in the world. Just imagine how much more you could see if you had 5 days. The weather's a little wintry to be summer, but you soon forget that with the charm of the Irish. Hidden Island Tours runs around the west coast of Ireland. A 7-day bed and breakfast riding tour starts from $1,070 and includes bike hire, transport, 4 gourmet dinners and a guide. A Qantas Jetabout package to London costs $2,617 from the East Coast and Adelaide and $2,537 from Perth and Darwin. It includes a return trip to Dublin, 7 nights accommodation and 7 days car hire.